So, hello. It is another Friday, and we are here in another think tank in the RAWDAO where we have a lot to go over. We just wrapped up season 1 where we had our theme as the Raw Blackout, and we wanted to come in and make a blackout in the industry. And I think we did a very good job with that by hitting a New York Fashion Week, being in that. All of us successfully minting our NFTs. I know it was not my first NFT, but for many of the creatives here in the DAO, it was their first NFT, their first fashion show, and we really put in a lot of work to make that happen. So just again, congratulations to everyone who was able to make that happen and get that off their checklist. We also had our first workshop, which was really great as well. We sold a total of 17 tickets. I know we kind of had a goal of 25, but we were really close. We did get a total of 28 members that ended up joining just the Raw Workshop chat, which was like people that were helping promote and people that were helping teach. So we still got that kind of same number ideally, which also yields $7.50 to the Raw Treasury from that 50 cents per each ticket. So that was a great seed, as well as I know a few of our contributors here such as CJ and Zay have also mentioned that their splits will be going towards the RAWDAO as well. You guys know we had 8 contributors, which were the 5 speakers, and then the 8 content creators that were creating all the content and sharing everywhere and trying to promote it. And they have offered their split to the RAWDAO as well, which is something I'm going to be doing as well in order to help seed our DAO. We are going to kind of talk about more of what we would like to see done with those funds here during our community call today. That's something that is on that agenda. But Raw Workshop was great. We learned a lot of things. We even are exploring a few ways to kind of keep that going. It was really cool. We added a tag for everyone that bought tickets in order to unlock like the Raw Workshop text chat and voice chat. So really cool to actually have those tags, seeing how we can add NFTs. You guys know we did the metaverse workshop, and everybody's been super excited about building further in that workshop, which is something else that we will be diving into further into this call. Like I'm saying, so many things to go over and get season 2 outline, figure out the things that we're going to be building to take it to that next level. So with that being said, first things first is our theme. After we discuss our theme, we need to go into our website, because I know Sergio has a lot of resources we have to pick up about our website, go over that, and I want to make sure we get that done before he has to leave. So talking about our theme, we asked everybody to share some ideas. When it comes to our theme, why it's important is because as season 2 comes underway, one of the biggest initiatives that we are going to be starting is our consumer report. And I think it would be kind of cool to actually put a little spin on it, and instead of calling it a consumer report, calling it a producer report, because we're actually creating reports for producers. And what that means is, if you guys seen in the general chat, I believe that's where that was shared, Sergio has shared a link for consumer reports, which is where you can go and click the link and search any kind of appliance, any kind of item, and see reviews on it. And I would love for everybody to actually take a look at that, so that you can see, it has 4 to 5 questions in order to understand, like, was it expensive, was it durable, really going through that product. So what we're doing is we are going to be relaunching NFTs, all of the creatives, on different marketplaces. The first marketplace that we're going to be starting on is OpenSea, so that way we can kind of set that standard, since it's kind of the most common. And the idea is everybody will launch an NFT on OpenSea using the theme that we create, and then we all will offer feedback on what it was like launching an NFT on this marketplace. So when it comes to that, something that we have to do is, number 1, create the producer report. So like I said, it should have something like 5, a few questions, like a quick survey that people can fill out to answer questions, so that when they're looking at what NFT marketplace they should be minting on, if that works for them. So something that like some of the things I've been thinking that we should have on there is like pricing. That's something that's important, like pricing or gas fees. I know some have more than others, especially when it depends on like blockchain. If it should be user friendly, things like that. So a lot of people coming into the NFT space, maybe some are more new and don't really understand, so want to use something that's more user friendly. And just different things like that. I'm not saying we have to create this all right now, but these are some of the questions that we want to be thinking about so that, next week we should have this outline. So that's something that's on the agenda right now, is actually creating that survey. So putting that out there, does anybody have any suggestions for like questions that they think should be on this producer's report, with how we would like to kind of like the information we're collecting about the marketplaces, or any ideas with this portion of this initiative, with us relaunching NFTs on different marketplaces and being able to offer this to everybody in the NFT space? No suggestions yet, no ideas. And if not, like I said, no pressure. This is something that I'm just putting out there because this is what we're going to be focusing on this week for that. If you don't have any now, drop them in the ideas chat for sure. Like I said, I would really love to get in between 5 to 10 questions that we are asking on this survey. Even if it's just 5 questions and then a little section for people to fill in, but it can, be even simple, starting out on a Google Doc, but again, just creating some type of survey that people can fill out, that we can be collecting this information with. So I don't see anybody unmuting with any suggestions yet, which is fine. Just wanted to go over that, so that's going to be one of our tasks anybody can do. I'm also going to look more at that consumers report, narrow down some more questions, re-put it out there. So next Friday we'll have that finalized and can start talking about how we would like to actually put that out there and invite people to take part in it. So that's the game plan with that. So when it comes to actually launching those NFTs on the marketplaces, that's where our theme comes in. You guys know, like I just said, we had our theme last season, which was blackout, which made it really, really great when we actually was on that fashion show and could give any artist an opportunity to come and be a part of our RAWDAO and launching under that, just using our theme. And we came out with a lot of really cool NFTs, especially from our digital designers who were able to add theirs under that blackout theme as well. So something that was really cool, I know we all really like the renewal theme and that like idea, especially because now we're going independent and now we're all relaunching NFTs and kind of in that renewal idea. So that sounds really great. We can definitely have an official vote. But the only other suggestion that we had was movie theater characters. Now this is from member Shamgar. He dropped a suggestion on Twitter, and I think it was really cool, especially because, again, how we have this idea on it being about NFTs, and using this theme to create NFTs. So imagine if, for a season we use movie theater characters. And again, even with that, we can take it a little deeper, and make it like cinematic. So now at this point you are just, dropping something that's more cinematic and, is a movie type of vibe, or, inspired from that. We can take these ideas and actually try to roll them into something that we want to see as a theme. But even again, as movie theater or movie characters, I thought that was a cool spin on what we can do with these themes, because we want to be having a theme every season. So creating NFTs that are kind of inspired from movie theater or movie characters, I think would be a really cool theme for a season. Whether that's this season or not, that's something that we'll all be voting on, but definitely something in the bucket. And again, to keep the gears going with this, seeing how we can really take these themes to different levels, and understanding is the focus that people will be creating the NFTs from them. So did anybody have any thoughts about the theme or any ideas that they would like to share before we commence voting this weekend on between renewal, like the raw renewal, or movie characters.
So can you just please like give me an example of movie character? Because I need like a that's real general. I need specific just so I can have like an idea
Yeah, so
of the
say
NFT
for
I could make.
example, we say, okay, this theme this season is movie characters. And then you can really take however you want with it. A lot of us are digital fashion designers. So imagine at that point if, we all pick a movie character, and it's like, I know CJ, for example, does crochet. So maybe she really likes Batman. So now she crochets something that's like black and yellow, because it's inspired from Batman. And maybe she's able to make the hoodie have like little bat ears on it or something fun like that. And then in the digital sense, can make that digital NFT that has like the whole digital cruddy as well, and you can even take it up a notch because now it's digital. So now, although maybe you don't have all the same aspects on the physical counterpart, you can use that NFT to kind of make it, a nice NFT looking picture that's kind of inspired by Batman, or say for you, for example, you're into animals. So, what's a good movie with animals? Maybe
Right.
You said Shrek.
Shrek is a good one.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Okay, so Shrek. Say you like, man, there's a lot of animals in Shrek, and you want to make an NFT inspired by like Donkey, and so I don't know what kind of NFT you can make inspired by Donkey, but use that as the inspiration, and that's where you would kind of get that from. Like, okay, movie characters, and you can go as crazy as you want with it, but just using that as the inspiration, whether it's the colors or the scenes or just the vibe, because Shrek is kind of medieval, so maybe you just want to make like a more medieval piece of fashion, because again, it's inspired by Shrek. Maybe it's something that Donkey could wear, again, just using that idea though as an inspiration for what you're going to do with your NFT. And because our seasons are 3 months long, you could even explore it, as far as you want. Say you want to have like a 3-piece series for Shrek, where it's like you do something for Donkey and the dragon and the Shreks in them, all kind of stuff that you can kind of build on or around from that, depending on however you interpret that theme, kind of.
Okay. Okay. So I'll wait for the voting because now I kind of want to do both, like renewal and the movie, because it does sound cool the way you broke it down. So thank you for that, because I just needed a more like specific so I can get my creative juices flowing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or, say, for example, even we take it a step further and say, okay, movie characters, so we could say, oh, the first month, what's your favorite movie? Let your favorite movie inspire you, or what's the most inspirational movie? Something I always like to think is really cool with making NFTs. It's like we have a chance to kind of pick what is a part of history, right? And so that's something that I'm always mindful of when it comes to like the stories that I'm incorporating in between, like behind my digi model. And like as I'm making NFTs, that's what I primarily focus on. Like even when it comes to like my poetry, that's something that I like to make as an NFT, because it's like this is on the blockchain, and like this is again us just kind of putting what pieces are going into the future. So I'm thinking even in that sense, like, okay, what kind of movies do we want to see, on the blockchain and represented in that way, and in different things. So definitely I like that theme too. And that's why I said, even if we don't do it this season, we can always do it next season, or let that again be an inspiration behind the theme that we do pick, because we're going to have many seasons to come. So far, those are the two different concepts, though. But again, I liked how that at least got a shift in how we can take these themes to different levels with, having people think critically about using these themes to really create NFTs. So, really cool. Any other ideas, though, with any themes that people would like to suggest? Nope. Okay, no worries. I will be dropping in the chat then for a final vote in between the two topics. And then Sunday, that's kind of when the voting can end, or actually maybe tomorrow, just 24 hours, give everybody an idea to thumbs up or thumbs down which one they would like to use. That way we can actually start creating content and start rolling that out using this new theme, whatever the theme we pick is. So moving right along back, so we have our two themes that we'll be voting on. We've talked about the producer reports that we'll be doing. So everybody make sure you're dropping any suggestions and voting on between those two so that we can get rolling on that. We need to talk about our raw resource website. So the idea with our website, just to recap, is we want to, you guys know we are building the brain. Felons, the idea again is we are here to educate people and come together and share our resources. So that's why our Discord is set up the way it is, so that everybody can share resources that they come up with, that they create, that they kind of cross paths with, and can share it. And we are trying to create a way to basically organize that, get it all together, and make it easy for those that are going physical to digital. So something that we have is called the brain. You can access that under the updates. It's in our pins. It's just a Google Drive that we have organized where we are trying to save these resources. And we are building a website where we are basically going to be able to put this out there so that people coming into the space can access our website and find the resources that they need in order to help them in this space, whether they're learning, whether they're putting out NFTs. And again, that's why we're even trying to collect this information about different marketplaces to try to help people gauge what will work best for them. So with our raw website, that's again where we're going to be hosting a lot of these resources and sharing that information, as well as we want to host a forum where people can ask questions and other people can answer the questions. And again, it'll be like this place where people can go for that information, kind of like a Reddit, as well, like a Reddit and Consumers Report all together for that NFT Web3 space. And as well as we're going to kind of down the line also kind of offer like not a promotional part, but people that, you know, there's a million places where you can go and upload your marketplace or your NFTs on different marketplaces. We want to kind of be a hub where people can also go and share the NFT from those other marketplaces on our website, and then also offer like how to actually buy that NFT for these other blockchains, you know, so that the buyer can see the simple steps on how to, you know, buy that crypto that they may need and how to do these exchanges, so that we offer that middleman service basically to make it easier for the buyers to offer that education and for the consumers to get educated in what they're doing. So we're basically trying to create this hub of resources to cover all these different things for people into the space. So the question these past 2 weeks, because we did not have our community call last week, has been, where are we going to actually host this website that will be able to hold our forum and our resources and be this place where people can actually look to when they're looking for these kind of resources in the space. So I did share a few links that I had kind of came across this morning. The first one was just a very simple, even what does hosting a website mean, as well as the Amazon Web Services. That was you guys know they're kind of taking over things. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, that's kind of in line with how the future is moving anyways, and how they're kind of, you know, this big umbrella that people tend to fall under, as well as kind of looking for more like Web3 focused hosting things. I came across this one, I think it was called like Flux or something of that nature. So I did share those different links there. But again, I am not, you know, I'm just learning. I'm over here still trying to learn Solidity and Remix to be able to fork our smart contract and get that relaunched and everything. And I know Sergio probably has some other suggestions as well, as wanting to hear from anybody else. So, Mr. Sergio, did you have a chance to dig in to some different hosting platforms and find some pros and cons about different ones that you came across as well?
Mostly this week I just spent relaxing, because I kind of like got tired. But like, I actually created like a Google Doc. I posted on the engineering channel, which has like it's called website requirements, and I put in like one of like the requirements like content writers and non-technical users need the ability to post their content, and then I split it into like two different solutions. One is like off the shelf solution, which involves just using our pre-built template um, with some ability to customize and select a CMS or content management system like WordPress. And then the other one is like a custom solution, which involves like building a solution from the ground up using um, HTML and JavaScript. But the custom solution is usually used to address like a unique requirement, which I don't think we have a unique requirement. It's just like posting content, right? Like posting our resource. We're not like actually like creating software, like new software, custom software. So like right now, I'm just like I just put WordPress because I mean like it's used for management managing content, and we don't need to like build that from the ground up, and we're gonna save like a lot of time, and since we don't have like a lot of engineering resource, I think that's more helpful using WordPress.
Okay.
Um, but um, if you go to like a customized solution, that's gonna take a lot of time, which we don't. I guess we don't have because we don't have like a lot of engineering resource, and our like I don't think we like our requirements not unique. Like we just need a place to post content. We don't need like you know like a marketplace. We don't need something unique. So I still need to research more. But I think we need. I think we're heading like in the WordPress direction.
Yeah, I was curious about WordPress as well when I was looking at a few of the traditional like places to host, and WordPress is what I was always most familiar with. And I know last time we were talking as well, we were like wondering if there's a more just like Web3 friendly way to even go about it. But I think like you
No.
said, starting out, I'm okay with us doing what we can in order to get started. Like you said, our main focus is posting that content, so
Yeah.
my question is, I know we started building it on Figma. So is the flow basically you build it on Figma and then you like connect it to WordPress where it will be hosted,
No.
and like that's the back
No.
end and Figma's the front end?
No. WordPress is mostly like the whole. It's like a whole platform. Like you have to like sign up for like this WordPress host. Like is it? There's like two ways to go about it. Like self-host WordPress or um what's the other one? Um, there's an I forgot the other one's called. Like, but I guess you pay someone to host your WordPress, but I guess you have to search for that too, which
I think I was reading something about that, like one is like simple and one is like basic or something like that. Those two
yeah,
different ways. So if we go the WordPress route, then that means that's basically where we'll be building the front end and putting all this like the buttons that we had kind of talked about and like what we've been kind of trying to outline in
yeah,
Figma. We would actually be building it in WordPress.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, well that makes sense. And I think WordPress was one of those like cheaper routes as well. I think like you had mentioned anyways, with getting that started. So my question is, on there, would we be able to host a forum as well, or would it be like we would have to have like a link that would connect to a forum? Because I was just looking. I think I keep
I'm
losing
not
the.
sure about that answer. Like, I know some WordPress, but I'm not like an expert in WordPress. I
Okay.
think there's like a plugin. There's always a plugin solution for WordPress.
A plugin.
Probably
Okay.
there is. I don't know, like right now, on top of my head.
Okay, yeah, so these are some of the things that we'll be looking in them for the website. So we're going to start looking more into WordPress and actually building out from there for our website. Some of the things that I would like us to kind of focus in on, and not me, but these are my ideas, and again, why we can all kind of build out from there. But I think getting started, what our focuses should be, is having a place where people can go to fill out the survey. Like, if they want to give feedback about a marketplace, they go to our website, and that's where they can kind of access, like, click on a button to be able to fill out the survey, whether it takes them to a Google Drive or even if the questions can be right there on the website. But being able to direct people to the website to fill out this questionnaire for the producer reports, as well as maybe even being able to show those responses. Maybe if we have to do that manually, that's something we update like once a week or something of that nature. But it being able to have people go to fill out this, have people be able to see the results and see the feedback that people are saying about these websites, and then have the forum where maybe then people can ask questions and talk more in detail. So I think if we would be able to kind of focus on those two avenues for the website, that would be a really good start to kind of help with what we're trying to get done.
Yeah, Google Forms are great.
Yeah.
You can automate a lot.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think they're pretty user friendly. I think it's just a matter of like pointing to where you gotta go, and that's on like even if we just get the website going and it's like the Google form right there, and you just click on it and it opens that. You can see that. I know a lot of the times if you do the questionnaire, like select A, B, C or whatever, it will already show you like a graph of the percents, and the responses that you get. So again, being able to show those responses as well, I think will be really cool. So that as people are trying to go and mint their NFTs on different marketplaces, maybe they'll come to our raw resource website first. Want to go see what kind of feedback we've said about that marketplace, and how inexpensive it is or user friendly it is, or different things that we want to gauge, and offer people to offer reviews, and actually be able to read those reviews, so that people get in that habit and seeing what we're building, and also come and want to offer their feedback too. So I'm doing that, and then connecting the forum. Like I said, I'm thinking it's going to be something like kind of a series of websites where it's like we have our main website, which again is kind of like a landing page, and then a button that would connect to the next, which is why I was saying that same thing with the Google form, or some type of link that would just open up. Thinking the same kind of thing would happen with the forum. I know there's one website that I had been wanting to use in order to kind of launch a forum initially. I just keep forgetting the name of it, so I need to get the name of it so I can drop it so you guys can look into it. But something like that, where again it's like, hey, this is our forum, click this button and you'll be directed to it. If we don't have a way to actually like host it directly on the website itself, at least being able to like link it to that and then go from there. That's kind of how I imagine being able to get it started. So Sergio, does this kind of seem like the correct flow that we're looking at for the website?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, I was like first thinking like I don't think we're gonna have like one web app, giant web app. It's just I guess I was gonna ask you like I guess we're gonna break it down like one like the main website is like just for the resource, and then I guess another website is for the forum, and then I guess if we have other like other software needs, the community needs like a way for like service, I guess that's like another website. But like
Yeah.
I guess I just want to launch the WordPress site first instead of just I guess that's like the first step. Just get the WordPress website launched.
Right. And so when you see launching the WordPress website, what does that consist of? Or what does that look like to you? Like, what would that be like? Just the landing page, or like you said, maybe the resources there, and kind of like that to get started?
For me, it's I see it as like it's just, you know how like Consumer Reports has it like that, like it has content. Like once you log in, once you go to the website, it just has content.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I guess the way you say you want the website is you want it to be a place for resources
Right.
and not too much. Like it's not like we're not deploying smart contracts. We're not um build like building it or creating NFT. We're not doing that stuff. So I guess that's why I wanted to like go to WordPress. We're not doing any Web3 stuff. We're just a resource that has content, so people could learn how to learn about Web3, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good idea. Like you said, just having that content there. Yeah, if we are focused on resources and content, having that actual page that has the content there that people can be going for as well. That definitely sounds great.
Hi, Mommy.
Can you close the door? Mommy's talking on the phone.
Oh, meow.
Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, you're gonna sit in here. All right. Well, so yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. So,
So,
what would be a good way that I guess we can start streamlining that content that we would want there? I guess is another good question too. I mean, we have the brain. So, is there some way? I guess again that we can organize that for what we'll be adding there, or what kind of content that will be there.
I guess our flow for creating content, right? Like who's gonna create the content?
Can
Like
you please go out? Mommy's
I
on the
don't-
phone, Zach.
and then
Please.
I guess
come
you have
on.
to go like who's gonna create the content, and then who has
Okay, go take a
the
nap.
access to
Go take a nap. Good night.
upload the content on the
Mommy, sit down.
WordPress
Nope, you didn't want to sit
website.
down. Go take a nap.
Like
Good night.
like you know how like for security reasons, like I don't want to say
Close
like
the door.
I have access to upload and then I'm like gone, and then someone like I don't like, well, I guess you have to figure it out who has access to those credentials to log into the WordPress site so they can post content, and then I guess you have to like figure out who's gonna create content, and then we need to create a process to like who's gonna write content and who's gonna edit content and who's gonna like okay like verify like this is good quality content, and then who's gonna communicate that to the person to upload it. Like I don't know that much.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Creating that process for content creation. That's something that we kind of have been working on as well in other channels. So I think just ironing out that process, like you said, is a really good point. I know a lot of us have kind of made it a point to try to create content, just like even how you made that form right here, for website requirements. Every step that each of us are doing, we're trying to create some type of content behind it in order to pass to the next, whether we're sharing it on Medium as our own personal blogs, or putting it just as a Word document in the brain, or a Twitter thread, trying to create a way to kind of organize these resources. So creating a actual process for people to actually write these documents, have somebody edit it, have somebody, fact check it, and then have it on the website, I think is a really cool idea. Does anybody have any suggestions with maybe how they would like to see that process organized, or thoughts about that content creating process?
I think like a Google Drive would be like the easiest. Like you could just have like we could have one like separate from the brain, I guess, just for like, or maybe we could even do it in the brain, but just have folders for like content that needs to be reviewed, and then you can move it to like reviewed or whatever, and then whoever's working on the website can take all the stuff that's been like reviewed and all that that's like ready to go to move to the website.
Yeah, and you know what? Thinking about it as well, say if we were to have the actual files in the Google Drive. I know we also have started Notion before, where we were able to actually like outline the task and assign them and things of that nature. So we can even start tying Notion back into that, where we can actually see like, you know, whoever is a content creator actually created content, and then they assign it to the editor, and then the editor can go in and, you know, pick up that content, like you said, edit it, move it to the next place, and then the fact checker can check it, and then, you know, they go in, move it to the next place, assign it to the poster, and then the poster actually posts it on the website. You know, so being able to tie it in with Notion and being able to assign it to the next person that needs it, as well as the Google Drive, so everybody has access, I think would be kind of a cool way. I definitely agree, Tiny. Anybody else have any thoughts, ideas, suggestions? No? Okay, no worries. Again, all of these things are things that you guys can think on later. Oh, Felons, I see you unmuted.
Not related to the website, but here, related to the chat session. Do you have a channel where you want people to drop stuff into, other than the general chat?
For
So if you could create like a little chat channel for activity in the think tank.
like right
Kind of
now.
like what you did for
Yes.
the RAW workshop.
Yes, that's a
Yeah,
good idea. So far we kind of just use the ideas channel, and it's like if you have any ideas about what we're saying, you drop it in there.
Okay. Yeah, I was hearing some ideas and sending out links, and I just was poking around going, well, where's that happening?
Yes. But that is a good idea. We should actually have an actual think tank chat. Or maybe even just rename ideas to that, because I know that's kind of where we share most of the time. So, and I can
just
move
it up
closer.
into that little voice channel section.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
right there. Cool. All right.
Appreciate that feedback. Thank you. Because again, that's a good way, because I do direct everybody, you know, to kind of go and drop it there, but that would bring it all together to have that actually named accordingly in there, so that we can all be following along. So I would do that after our chit chat today, and have everybody, you know, drop the questions and our ideas, and have everybody know they can share from there. So any other ideas about the website, about organizing the content creation, anything at all? No? Okay. Well, let's see.
I have one question.
Sure.
In working with artists that have physical paintings, if that's, I don't know if you have any people in the DAO or in the community that do that.
Mm-hmm.
There is the opportunity to take that artwork and do some animation on it. Has there been any sort of conversation about that to date?
I know one artist here who actually does like physical painting and uses like wood in order to make them, but there has not been much talk about actually animating that from there, although definitely an idea and something that I wanted to start talking more about, especially because we're going down this road of helping people actually launch their NFTs. And I think adding things like that, like you say, being able to animate that picture, you know, that now adds that extra level of exclusivity and coolness to your, physical painting as you're going digital. So I think that would be a great conversation to continue to build on as we kind of explore actually launching these NFTs.
Very cool. And the other thing, of course, being a musician, I'm very interested in collaborating, and maybe not entire songs, but I've put together a lot of little 1-minute jingle type things that can loop along with whatever artwork that gets put into NFTs. Make it that much more interesting. If any of you are interested in that extra.
Yes, I was just going to say, I'm happy you brought that up too, because when you mentioned that you were into music, I was going to mention that. Like, oh, now we need to start a music channel because it does add that extra oomph to your NFT. And we are all about collaborating, so being able to tie music into an NFT and, bring it all together. I think that would be really cool and a great initiative, especially because, again, we are focusing on physical to digital. So there's plenty of artists here that have physical music and trying to figure out how to go digital all the way and make it Web3 and an NFT and work with NFT artists in the NFTs. So just having that section and opportunity, I think, would be really great to add as well and highlight.
Tell you what, in the ideas, I'll just put myself in, provide you guys a link, and with that, suggest you do that. Absolutely.
Perfect. Awesome. So I definitely will have a music channel coming. I know this weekend I kind of called it like a spring cleaning, where I was combining some channels and trying to just reorganize so that, again, as we're building out some of these things, we're just very clear so that people know how to use our Discord. It grew, it's growing, and we're trying to put ourselves in position for this wave that we know we're here to help onboard people, and at any moment, we can have a flood of people that are coming and looking for the resources, and we want to have all the things for them. So having just a channel dedicated to people that want to figure out how to transition their music again and share their stuff and just organize like that is going to be super great. I'm super excited about that music channel and to have you here to kind of help lead that initiative.
Love it.
Do
what I can.
Super exciting. Awesome. So that sounds great. Sounds great. Yay, super excited. So so we've talked about a lot when it comes to our theme for season 2, relaunching NFTs, our website being on WordPress, what that looks like, creating a process for actually content creating. We want to keep a lot of these things, especially when it comes to our website, cohesive. So we also kind of need to be working on that cohesiveness. I know something that's been really great so far is different people leading different things when it comes to the DAO, which is great because although I'm the founder, you guys know I'm very much trying to let our community build the RAWDAO how they see. So for example, Zay has taken on the TikTok, and China, one of the newest strategists, has taken on the Instagram. And those are two very different people that create different content, but we want to have still some level of cohesion underneath those social media platforms, as well as since we're about to launch our website, we want our social medias to reflect that website, because again, our whole push is going to be pushing people to actually go to our website for those resources. A lot of the stuff we're sharing on content or on these social medias will be clips from the workshops and clips from the conversations, or pictures of the articles, and we'll be directing them to actually go to the website for those full resources. So we have to have some level of cohesion when it comes to actually creating all of the content as well. One of the things that we use often is called Milanote, Milanote. Milanote. Now, you guys know Stella is one of the awesome people that we've been working with for quite a while, especially when it comes to actually learning how to do digital fashion design itself. And ever since she's suggested Milanote, it's definitely been helpful. It's something that you can especially collaborate with. So there's some projects where I've collaborated with other artists, and we've been able to use a Milanote, to actually share some ideas. And let me see, I will actually share my screen so that you guys can all see, because this is something that we will have to start doing for our content creation, and something that we can even tie in with what we were talking about earlier when it comes to creating these process. So for example, like this is something that Dylan and I were working on when we were coming up with the new tie-dye t-shirt, where his focus was very much mental health, and I'm tie-dyeing. He does embroidering, so he's sharing pictures with mental health, and I'm sharing pictures about tie-dye based on the pictures that he sent. And something that was really cool is, you see here, you can actually leave like notes. So I'm like, oh, I'm excited, and he's like, same. And here again, you can put arrows and words and to-do list, and just add so many different things when it comes to like adding the pictures and organizing your thoughts and how you want things to look. So stuff like this is really cool. Let me see, I think there was even another board where Tiny and I so this is one that Tiny and I had been working on, and you see there's a few of us here so already, and this is when we were actually creating our roles. You remember we put out a whole list on all the roles we wanted. We narrowed it down, then we went through the different things that we wanted for each role. So we have our educators, our moderators, our strategists, our engineers, our creatives, and you see the apple here. We have weekly, we picked out our colors, just different ways that we've come together to be able to organize, and everybody has been able to add to that. So when it comes to our content creation, Milanote is something that we are definitely going to continue to use for everybody that's creating content, so that we can have a place to share and create mood boards and think tanks, so that we're using simple things like the same color theme, the same kind of pictures. That's why, like I said, you seen that apple, so now you see one of the latest pictures that I've created when it comes to like actually how to join our DAO has been an apple field and an apple here and an apple tree, because I know that was one of those things that we have put in our brand when it comes to how we're even trying to cipher education, starting with the seed that then grows to the seedling, then to the tree, and then the apple, and then the apple back to the seed and back to the seedling, and just that whole cycle that we are embodying when it comes to our education, and how we can use these different themes and images to help us carry our message through as we're building this out further. So with this season, with more content creators, and us doing different things, ironing out that brand and brand awareness, so that as we're building, again, people are starting to recognize it, is something that we definitely want to be polishing. We make a lot of content, and we want to be reusing it. I was just telling Zay a few days ago, anytime you're re-listening to a workshop that we have on Twitter Spaces or on Clubhouse or on here or anywhere, if you save a 30-second clip, a minute clip, you can go put that on Instagram as a reel. Maybe you just caught a quick gem, when somebody says something great, and you want to use that and just screen record it and reshare that, so that people are hearing the things that we're talking about, so they want to come and hear more and get to those resources. We want to start creating more stuff like that, so that even when we're coming together and it's still just a few of us, we're still coming together and creating that content together, so that we can start reusing that to help spread our brand awareness. So using things like that to help create this content, that's what this mission is right now: getting our brand out there, creating content, making sure it's cohesive, so that we're growing. We want to be planting seeds that are going to bear some amazing fruit in the future. And with that, it comes down to our goals for this season. So some of the goals that we have for this season is what we need to talk about. So I kind of have just went on a little tangent about some of the goals I think we should have when it comes to, we've already talked about our website. Obviously, that's something that we are shooting for this season, which is actually launching our website and putting resources on there, getting that process ironed out for the content that we want released on the website. Again, our brand awareness, growing that brand. Maybe we can even iron out some hardcore goals, like what growing the brand looks like, whether that's we want to reach a certain amount of followers on Instagram and Twitters and stuff like that. Although when it comes to like looking at our success and our growth when it comes to numbers, I'm not that big a fan of that, because you guys know even how we have our onboarding session, it's not about like trying to get 1,000 people to join the Discord, because we want, out of 1,000 people that join, we want 900 of those people that are actually going to come and want to apply that knowledge, right? Because that's also why we have it like, to join the DAO, you have to complete a task, which isn't much other than do some work, like, go and share something on Instagram. Go create educational content. Just go do what you do and share it. And, encouraging people to continue to share what they're doing in ways that will grow them and grow the DAO simultaneously. So just getting that out there and figuring out a way to even measure that growth. Maybe it's more measured by DAO members, and maybe by, how many tasks they're completing a week. Maybe, if we can get an average of each DAO member completing a task a week, that will be great, because one thing that we do here is every group will go through and give a task that they would like to see done, and then we have our normal tasks done. So that's a goal that I think would be great, is actually figuring out how to measure our growth and grow, and set some goals for, maybe we want to onboard a member a week, and encourage people to complete a task a week, and start to again just grow in that way, grow the work that's being put in, grow the brand in those kind of healthy ways. So those are some of the goals that I think when I look at the RAWDAO in this season. Also is our next workshop. We're gonna definitely start promoting that a lot sooner. We have our Raw Rec Center. I think that's kind of a better way to say than our convention center idea. So this will kind of be something that we will have to go a lot more in detail about, probably on like a separate call in general. But you guys know, Sergio, I don't think you made it to the building session in the metaverse during the Raw workshop, but I would definitely suggest kind of rewatching that, because it was really a great experience, and a lot of us have been excited about how we can continue to further build in it. And basically the way that we had initially thought about how we would be building this out, and being in Neos, it kind of brought it even all together with how we can actually do this. So and Felons was actually one of the ones that had shared his whole thing that we were exploring. So basically it would be like a big auditorium, when you kind of enter, and that would be the Raw Rec Center. Now it's cool because one of the community members in here, you guys may have seen him pop up in a few of the workshops, was Chase Mills, who also is into music, but he was thinking, it'd be cool to have a virtual basketball court, so people can kind of meet up in the metaverse and play basketball like they do in real life. But, just to offer that place to congregate, kind of, and people do that for 2K anyways. So just offering that as a place in our rec center, to go and meet up. So say we have like a basketball court there. And then also we have each of our artists. We have so many creatives in here, and think about if they're able to create their own galleries. So the idea would be to give people a place to go and build their own room. All it takes is you building out your own 3D space in Blender, and then you're able to import it into Neos. So the idea would be to tell creatives and teachers teachers to create classrooms. We can create conference rooms, just different areas that we can go and actually meet up to do a lot of the things that we're doing. We can go have our community calls, in a conference area, in these different areas. But also, again, the creative, so they can create their own galleries, so that you also get that museum effect, so that when people are in our metaverse, they're able to explore different rooms and see different NFTs. And like I said before, CJ has already taken a step and is having whole like crochet meetups with other people who crochet, and she shared that picture in one of those chats before. And I think they have like almost I want to say 20 people. I don't really remember how many people were on the screen, but it was a good amount of people that she was able to attract that just wanted to meet up on Zoom to crochet together. And a few of them are actually ready to go digital. It's like, okay, you can go have a crochet room, that you guys are actually meeting up in this metaverse. And you can add the screens, and just using all these different ways to be able to give creatives, again, a place where they can come and showcase what they've got and get people excited to come into our world to be able to explore that. So always giving ourselves this basis of creating a hub that others can use, other creatives to showcase their stuff, and other explorers that want to explore what people are creating, and creating that hub where all of them can meet in the middle, because right now a lot of things are all over the place. So that's, again, how we even keep that cohesion. That's the same concept with our website. It's going to be the same concept with our metaverse, so building out that metaverse, though, creating the general auditorium that people would first enter into, and building out that, and then also encouraging our creatives to start building out their individual galleries or classrooms or whatever space that they see, and merging them together, so that by our second workshop that should be happening at the end of this month, or not end of this month, end of the season, which would be in June, probably that June 24th, 25th, 26th time, since that's the last weekend in June, hypothetically, nothing set, of course, but shooting for these kind of things to be done in June, where we have the basis or the auditorium done, and maybe a few creative rooms done. And what that looks like is having more meetups in Neos, having more building sessions when we all come together and start building spaces in Blender. Yes, you can go pee standing up, please. Thank you. And again, coming together and putting in the work to see these kind of things come into fruition. So that's also another goal, is actually building out our metaverse, so that our next workshop can be in there as well. Because if we can get that down, then our ticket sales can be more Web3 friendly, where we can sell tickets as an NFT, and maybe that NFT is an avatar, that people can actually come and use when they come to the workshop. And then open that up to actually now our creatives can help make the avatars or make the clothes, that people can keep using when they're in the metaverse, or just all kind of things that we can start to explore from there once we start tackling these kind of bigger goals that we're going to be building out on top of. So those are some of the goals that I've kind of set out for us, is to build out that metaverse, launch the website, figure out how to measure growth and continue to grow, as well. Okay, good job. As well as get our smart contracts relaunched. A lot to do, but I think it's definitely possible as long as we keep coming together every week and putting out these goals that we can get done each week to actually start getting this kind of stuff done and planning accordingly. So, did anybody have any other goals that they would like to see us try to conquer this season, that will help us in our big picture of what we have going on here?
I don't have any. Well, I will think of goals, but I was kind of thinking like a good question is for Neos and Blender, who would be in charge of? Okay, baby, wait. Okay, go. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You guys here, we all got little ones that we're balancing, but that's okay. we come here every Friday to be able to set these goals out, come up with things, tasks that we can actually do to get these goals done. Zay, I'm not sure if you're able to. Okay, I will say, are you back yet?
I'm gonna try to say this before they come back. So I just wanted to know how would we build out the auditorium, because that's a big, like, we've been in Neos already and the auditorium was huge. So how would we start on that?
Yeah, I think it comes down to even how I was just saying that Miller note. That's what I was saying. We need to have like just a session talking about what we would even want to see that to look like, because maybe even the auditorium, maybe it's something not like that, because maybe it's not like a general concert area. Maybe it's something more like a hallway, or like a meeting area, kind of like outside, where you can kind of like sit around a fountain, and like there's like, kind of benches all outside, and that then will kind of lead to the other rooms, because other people, are building out their own galleries, or maybe it's just a big empty square like we had kind of seen, and it is an auditorium, and you come in and it's just like a big space, but then you can then go to the other rooms from there. So we would have to have a meeting. That's why I was thinking we could do like every 2 weeks meeting in Neos. That was something that I think would be really kind of cool to kind of continue to add to when it comes to our content creating and how to actually get this done, where it's like our first week would be us really building, talking about this kind of stuff, all of us kind of building out the auditorium together, practicing in Blender, like a hardcore core group building session. And then the second week can be more like one that anybody can join. Anybody can come into Neos with us. Anybody can come, hop in the metaverse. Maybe they can add some stuff as well and start to build as well. But kind of meeting every 2 weeks, where with those kind of mindsets, where one, it's like we're building actually the actual auditorium that we are trying to build out, and we're doing that together. Maybe one person's building one area, another person is building another. We're all adding different elements that we're building into the space, and doing that together. And then the second one, again, being more of a exploring and having other people come in with their ideas, because you never know who you'll attract, each session. And luckily we do also have Musashi, who just joined the DAO officially, and has been offering a lot of insight and a lot of different things. He's someone who I've been working with a lot since like the Global Designer Network anyway, so it's probably been like about a year that I've known him. So it's actually really great to actually be in the spaceship with him, learning how to use it more. He's told me about this DAO spaceship the spaceship for DAOs for a while. So being able to be one of those DAOs that are going on that journey with them, and they have a crew of builders that are willing to help DAOs get their space set up, is going to be great for us. Also collaborating with other DAOs, and being able to again work all of the different things that we pride ourselves on here on the RAWDAO. We say we're about education, networking, and transforming physical to digital. So if we're not being in the metaverse, we're not necessarily going physical to digital. So our focus is on networking, and networking with the other builders that are in that space, networking with the other DAOs that are building their own worlds, and thinking about how cool that will be, once we get our own feet on the ground and got our world in there, and how other people will now start visiting our world, and how we can visit other people's worlds and just collaborate in that space. And educating people on the metaverse in general, and how they can use these tools, and educating artists, on how they can start using these tools to help show off their NFTs, and just kind of using all of this in order to go over our pillars and help the community, to educate them and create these different networking opportunities that are going to be helping artists. So, I hope that answered your question, Zane. But basically, meeting every 2 weeks, I think, would be a great solution for us to actually get in there, build together, and, you know, come up with like an hour, 2 hours every 2 weeks where everybody can come in and practice building, take home some homework, and say, you finished focusing on this, you finished focusing on that, and, just all kind of add to it.
Yeah, thank you for the explanation because I was like, oh, that's a big auditorium. That's it. If it was smaller, I'd be like, yeah, totally cool. But I just wanted to know. So, okay, so that would basically make 6 times we would all join Neos at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And also for a goal, not for I want to put it for everyone as well, but because you have done it and I've done it, but to continue, yes. Oh, okay. All right. I will be out there in a second, promise. But I just wanted like everyone to have avatars. Like if it's a goal for all of us to make avatars, so we have our avatars in Neos, and we don't have to use the Neos avatars per se. Nothing's wrong with their avatars, but if we're supposed to be autonomous at some point, so if we have avatars, then it'll be better for us in the metaverse. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. And that's why I even touched on it. Say we all make our own avatars, then when it comes to, okay, we understand we want to have these workshops, at the end of the season, maybe we can add an initiative to tell, because Majestic Digital, the one that actually taught the how to make an avatar class, makes avatars like it's nothing, just bust them out every other day with a new avatar, and giving her a place to say, hey, you can come and sell your avatars, or even just offering, a lot of people have PFPs, so maybe we can even take it a step further and saying, you can turn your PFP into an avatar, and that's what you can bring into Neos when you come, if that's what you would like to keep it as. But just offering some type of way to, like you said, create avatars for others as well, and for ourselves. So I think that would be a good goal as well, on pushing everybody to make their avatars. I know Majestic wants to continue building out her workshops as well, which was really exciting. A lot of our educators want to keep building with us, and I think that's something that's really important to kind of bring up as well. Is we did the Intro to Web3 course, but now we're continuing to build on that education, which is great because that's what's important, right? You learned this, now it's important to apply it and keep learning. So she wants to have another course, she said herself, in 2 weeks, which will just be free here on Discord, but actually showing how to make digital fashion now for your avatar, and how to export and make sure you know how to move your avatar from here to there. So that's something we can definitely double back on, and continue the avatar class, so that leading up to it, it's like everybody should be able to make an avatar, make clothes for the avatar, and we could put it out, everybody make 5 avatars, everybody make 10 avatars, so that as we offer these tickets for the workshop, we can offer custom avatars, for pre-sales, or just start to really play with what we can offer people that enter the community and want to explore that, So I think that's a good goal that you mentioned, is bringing the avatars into that.
Yeah, and that and wearables in general, you can do extra hats or stuff like that to award people, kind of like POAPs.
Yeah.
POAPs. But at this point, getting the full avatar is awesome, and I don't know if Neos actually allows for like pets or a whole lot of accessories, so it would be interesting to work on that.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, I just want to let you know, you were saying earlier that I had shared my property. It was actually Acapella.
Oh, it's Acapella.
He's the one that's building out Binks's property, known as Third Planet Studios.
Okay.
And they're migrating from the Mozilla hubs, kind of a pseudo um, metaverse there. And it's kind of like Neos, which actually doesn't have properties for sale, and they're basically independently developed, unlike crypto voxels or Decentraland. But that's a pretty cool, really powerful platform. So yeah, check them out. Acapella. He'll hopefully be involved in the future from here.
Yeah, I know Binks actually just filled out like the so basically if you were to like want to join the official DAO, we have just like, it's very simple. It's just filling out a Google form in the where to start channel, and basically, you know, it's just you sharing your socials so we can all follow your social medias, you adding your own bio and picture, because we do add all the DAO members to our Gitbook. You know, and then giving you your kind of skills from there, whether you want to be an engineer, a moderator, strategist, things of that nature. But Binks did fill it out, and I know is very interested in the digital fashion aspect as well, and physical to digital and all that great stuff. So I know they'll be building as well, and like you said, Acapella and Musashi. So that would definitely be great. We'll have to get our first metaverse, you know, meeting actually planned with all of them and get back in there and building together, so that we can start creating this. And like you said, it'll be great to have people that actually have done it before actually come in with their expertise. And I actually have to probably talk with Acapella before then to try to get some resources. I know he had mentioned a few people on YouTube that you can watch and kind of follow along with in order to help build out a space that makes it pretty easy, that you can get a space built out like in a weekend, you know, depending on how much time you really sit there and focus on following step by step and building different things. And, you know, the more you practice, the better you'll get. That's one of the focuses we have here as well, is just understanding all of the stuff that we're putting energy into is helping us learn more skills that are going to be helpful for anything that we're doing in the future. So the better we get at, you know, building these 3D worlds and 3D objects and understanding, you know, how they're interoperable and how to use them in these different spaces, it's just going to keep adding more tools to that tool belt. So definitely exciting to explore all that. I even like how you mentioned, you know, different stuff like hats and, you know, different kind of superlatives that people can kind of earn.
Yeah, well, Binks would be all over, you know, the physical to digital as far as the bands that she supports, artists that do, you know, t-shirts, hoodies, being able to buy the NFT to get those physically, and then of course, you know, have the, you know, wearable representation as well.
Right.
So it's actually covering 3 bases, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the awesomeness. You got music there, you got fashion, you got metaverse, you got NFTs, you know, like you said, just bringing it all together. And that's the power of this new technology, you know, being able to offer these new experiences, so that it's not like, you know, you go to the concert and you got your memories that you can hang on to, and you can even hold on to the ticket stud for eternity, you know, and that's kind of all you got. But, you know, being able to offer something more for those people that enjoy that experience, and they can revisit and, you know, use in different ways to kind of keep that experience going. It's going to be really cool to be able to collaborate with others in the space that are doing it, and be able to come together, you know, and see everybody and kind of, I know something simple like, oh, I make tie-dye t-shirts and Zay has a Cricut machine, so it's like, oh, you know, I can make the tie-dye shirts and you can put something on it. And another member, he kind of had the same thing where he was doing like gaming and being able to like offer the physical t-shirt for the same as the in-world t-shirt that they're wearing on the game. And, you know, again, us just being able to offer these services and collaborations with these people in the space that, you know, do want that physical to digital, and collaborations, and creating these different, again, hubs for people to come in, because we aren't the only creators, right? We can have a bunch of creatives come into the space that want to help again with those kind of different projects, and just creating these avenues for people to join and partake in. It's going to be very exciting to see what kind of projects we take on. That's something we definitely got to keep going on. Sorry, fellas, go ahead.
Oh, not to drag it out too much further, but one of the things that is really a huge opportunity for artists is to not only have interviews, but perhaps do live art. So, or have some video footage of making, the making of your art. And so, going through the process of how you do your craft, and then ultimately how you manifest it into an NFT, and what the ultimate goal is to interface with collectors.
Yes, that's a great point, and thank you for bringing that up, because that is one of those things that I did overlook here on our agenda today, was our utilities for the NFTs. So being a creator here in the RAWDAO, one of the things that we get that are extra important are the utilities that come with that NFT. So it's funny that Felons actually mentioned that, because we actually have something already here called the Collectors Club, actually. So basically what it was when I make my tie-dye t-shirts, all of the collectors would come into the Collectors Club at the end of the month, and I would actually make the tie-dye t-shirts live. Everybody would, drop some song suggestions beforehand. We would get like an epic playlist going, and then we would come and have this thing called a jam session. And, everybody's listening to music while I'm creating the tie-dye t-shirts for the collectors, and they're actually being able to see it live and behind the scenes of their t-shirts actually being created. And something we kind of even evolved that to is opening that up for any creative that's in here to actually be able to offer that as a utility for any of the collectors. So like I said, Tiny makes handmade jewelry, and Zay has her animals and her cricket machine, or even people that's doing digital. You can even show how you're making it digitally, and like you said, Felons, even just putting together that content while you're doing it. If you're not able to do it live because maybe you don't have the physical, putting together that mindful content of you actually creating it, and still being able to offer that to that collector in that way, to showcase this is how you do that, and putting that out there to help grow you as an artist, I think is really cool. So that was a really great point.
Awesome.
Cool.
I don't know if you're wrapping it up right now, but I gotta jump. Let you wrap if you are.
For sure, it was. We appreciate you for hopping in. We are wrapping it up just about now. I've kind of gone over all the different tasks that we have here, all the different ideas. But did anybody have any other tasks that they would like to see completed? I guess I could also go through how to actually use the task bot. I know, Felons, you said you've got to go. This stuff is recorded, so you can always just watch the replay. It is something that I want to make very simple at the end as well. So just going over our task. So
all right, see you guys. Bye.
See ya. Thank you. So for you guys that are still here, so our task bot. So I'm thinking we might need two channels for our task. One that just has a list of the tasks that's actually available, and then here for how we can actually show that the tasks are completed. So this is basically the flow. I'm going to share my screen again here, because using this bot, we actually do not need to use Coordinate. We do not need to use our Excel dot. We do not need to go anywhere except for Discord. So basically the way it will go is you come here to task, and you start by pressing the slash button. If you press slash, the whole list will pop up here. And you can see all the different commands. They do a pretty good job explaining it. It's very straightforward. So in order to actually get started, you have to create a new task. So I'm going to type new. You see new task comes up here. and you type what it was. So I'll put attended raw workshop. Now why you have to create a new task is because not more than one person can claim a task. So instead of trying to like put the task in the bot, it's really just easier for you to do it this way, which is create a new task, put in your own description, you press enter, okay, and then you've got this ID right here. So then what you'll do is you put / you put complete, and then ask for your task ID right there. Mine is 4NH5. Press enter, and it's complete. Oh wait, it's over here thinking so long. Sorry, sometimes you have to assign it to yourself. So new. So okay, let me backtrack actually. So I'm not sure why it thinks if you don't assign it to yourself. So you go to new, you put attended raw workshop. As you see, you can press this plus button. You want to assign it. So you press assignee, and then after assigning, you put your name, Mocaso. So I'm assigning it to Mocaso. So that's me, obviously. Oh man, wait, this is getting a little tricky. I'm sorry, I'm used to doing it from my phone. Let me see. But anyways, when you press new, let me see, when you press new, let me get this figured out. Press new, type your task, assign it, new task, assigning. Why is it getting weird? Okay. So just watch my video because I can do it from my phone. I'm not sure why it's not assigning it appropriately on my laptop. So I did a video on the phone on how you can actually put in your new task, assign it to yourself, and then claim it. But it does actually make it pretty simple. The biggest thing that you have to do is actually the weekly reporting. So what you would do for this one is you press / and you press list. So for here you can see there's a list all, which will show you a list of all the tasks. You don't want to press that one, you just want to press the one that just says list. Then you'll press user, and then you'll press your name. So, and then you can see status, I'm going for completed. So I'm getting a list of all of my completed tasks. So I press enter, and it shows me this list of all my completed tasks. So here you see how it looks very easy. These are all the ones that I have put in before. So something that I did when I put in my task, also that I forgot to mention, sorry, I gotta make a very clear video to make this a little easier and just clear to understand. But I put the name as well as how many build it is, because now you guys see it's very easy for me to see how many build I should have, right? So I can see, okay, I should have 30, 60, 90, 110, where was that, 110, 135. Hosting Twitter Spaces, that should be what, another 10, I think. So I was at 135, so 145. Okay, so I'll say I was at 145 for this list of completed tasks. So you see, when I put in my task right here, I should have also actually put how many build I've got right there, to make it easier when it popped up here. So 145, that's how many I'm saying I should have. So what I'm gonna do is come here to my respective chat, and as you guys can see, I've been kind of practicing here just with what it should look like. So I will put 145 build, BLD, and then the week this ended on. So this should have been, we could say this Sunday, so the 3rd, so April 3rd. So this would be 4/3/22. 145 build the week of April 3rd, 2022. Because then what I'll do, all that I will have to do now is actually come into each chat and go and take the amount of build that you want and put it into my Excel document where I'm tracking how many build everybody should have. And I'll have it separated by each week and how many build people earn per week, so that at the end, when our smart contract is live again, it'll be very easy to just give you a total of how many you should have gotten. And this is something that we can continue to do. So I think it makes it a little easier, although the task bot just make it seem like it would have been a little more complicated than it needed. But if you do it on your phone, it's not complicated at all. I'm not sure why my laptop made it a little more difficult. But yeah, just press /new, type in the description of what you did with how many builds you're supposed to get, assign the task to yourself, and then go right back in and mark it as complete with the task number you just got. At the end of the Sunday, you'll just go through and add how many of these you have. One thing I am trying to look into when it comes to this task bot is actually how to clear out this list, so that after each week we can actually clear out the task and start fresh. So, but before I did that, I wanted to actually have a meeting with everybody so that you guys can see the task bot. I know we've kind of been trying new ways, different ways, which has been great. I did make a review for like Coordinate and how to use that. We do have Notion, which is something that we can still, again, use for other things, like how we talked about with the content creation tied into the task bot. But all trying different things, again, with the same sense as being able to offer feedback and reviews for others that are in the same boat on trying to figure out how to assign tasks, track tasks, use governance tokens. One thing that I didn't mention for a goal for that we need to do is actually have a constitution. We need to kind of come up with a constitution that we would like to follow, like a code of conduct that we would like our DAO to have as well. So I'm adding that to a list here for things that we would like to complete for this season. We have a lot of things on that list. I'm going to make a very organized list, but it's the start of a season, and we have a lot to tackle, a lot to do. So I think that's about it. Did anybody have any other questions, thoughts, ideas, anything that they'd like to see us complete this week specifically that you would like to put out there for anybody to help with if possible?
I just have one last thing. Oh, go ahead, Sergio. You can go because I was talking a lot. Go ahead.
It's more like a comment, and it's not like a task, but like, when I was like searching, a little bit about like, hosting the website, the one thing that keeps coming up in my head is like, security. Like how, like I wish like there was a way to manage credentials online in the Web3 community. And I was just, for example, like if we host it on Amazon AWS, like how do we trust this individual to not just run away with the credentials and do something bad and then
that's a good point, Sergio, because you really don't know, especially like as our team continues to grow. Right now Zay has the login for TikTok, and China has the login for the Instagram, and I haven't gotten CJ the login for the Git book, but she'll have the login for the Git book. So I think there is definitely some type of outline that we need to have when it comes to who will have access to certain things and how that can be earned. And that's even why I had to circle back and say our code of conduct definitely needs to be outlined as well, because I think that can be a way that we can manage that as well when it comes to also revoking privileges if people do things that we feel are malicious behavior. So it can also be autonomous, where it could be very black and white, and people understand what's expected, and if you do certain things, what that will then lead to. So I think outlining our code of conduct will kind of fall into that when it comes to like how to earn credentials, how to lose credentials, by joining the core team, what that comes with, and taking on certain responsibilities, what that will come with, so that people are joining these DAOs and have a clear understanding on what's expected, and we can move in those kind of like organized ways. Something I've been doing recently is I've been actually meeting with this one lawyer named Matt, who I had like a one-on-one with, and I actually talked to him about the RAWDAO, and he kind of gave me his idea on like actually how to kind of run a DAO from the legal perspective, where you can have kind of two ways, which is you can make the DAO itself kind of like an S corp or something of that nature, or LLC, or you can have each of the DAO members independently work as an LLC under the DAO, and it's all just to protect against liability. But also, when I was talking to him about that kind of stuff, it came down to even just the agreements. Like, okay, say for example, we mentioned, if we have to pay to host this website, there will have to be some kind of agreements going into it. Like, oh, if you're, putting this money in, then that it's because you believe in the project and you want to help support it until it can support itself, and just kind of having agreements that people can read, be aware of, and kind of agree to as they're going further and further into those kind of things. Like you said, having access to our website, having access to our passwords, having access to our funds. Once you start getting to that step, there does need to be that level of some type of organization to outline who can actually access that and what's expected of them if they have that information.
Yeah. It's kind of, for me, I was just kind of like, not overthinking, but like, just digging in too much. Like, I know Web3 is about like, like community and all that stuff, but like, when it comes to security, like, how do you, in my head, it was like, how do you manage all these credentials? And how do you build?
Yeah, I think it would be coming down to us coming together to create, again, more of like a constitution, a code of conduct. Maybe we all decide, we elect that there should only be, 2 or 3 people that even have like, the password and information, so that not too many people have it, but not just one person has it. So that way you can know, if things do happen, it's not like it's hard to kind of narrow down where the source came from, and things like that. That's definitely something we'll have to look into. So I suggest all of us to kind of go do some more research on what other DAOs are even doing for that kind of stuff. I guess kind of like the biggest example you can kind of use is for like multi-sigs. When it comes to like the Treasury, a lot of DAOs have to kind of agree on how they would like to use the Treasury, who has access to that. For example, when we had our smart contracts, I could have delegated any of you to also have access to go and do airdrops for NFTs and for the governance tokens, which, is something else we will get back to once, we do have our smart contract live again. And I just showed you guys how, each group is reporting the total amount of build they have in each group. So, some person can be leading the engineers and be dropping all the engineers build tokens, so they'll have to have access. So just, creating out these clear order of processes for everything that we're doing, for, creating out a clear process for who has access to passwords and what that will look like, for who has access to just anything that we're doing, so that our process can just be automated and prepared for us to grow more people on our team. We're going to be adding a lot more engineers in. I'm even going to be posting a lot more kind of like, not job ads per se, I don't like calling them that, but like back when we first started, with our fashion show, and I just kept posting like, We're in need of digital fashion designers. I want to start putting out more stuff like that. Like, if you're an engineer and interested in helping us build, this website or helping us build this metaverse, join the team, putting out these different things. If you're into marketing and, brand building, come and join the team. If you want to do these different things, come and join the core team, so that, again, we're attracting people that want to come in and really put in that work to help us build. So when they do come in, again, even having that process on how to onboard and what's expected and how they can grow, I think will also make it's important. Being a Web3 brand in general, that's what shows us as a serious brand as well. One of the things I was going to mention before is, if we really get our stuff down packed, and I know we had mentioned this last time we had a conversation when it came to who's even going to be paying for, hosting the website and the fees that come with the storage and protecting that. If we get our stuff together, we can go and start applying for grants. We can start pitching our RAWDAO to angel investors. There's so many different other businesses that literally want to fund Web3 ideas just to help, push Web3. If we come down, we got all of our stuff together, we are a well thought out, organized business that people actually see is going to have some type of, I don't want to say return, because it's not about the return when it comes to this Web3 business, but they can see the vision in the business, right? And they see like, oh, they know what they're doing. It makes sense to go and help them reach their what they're trying to reach. It would just help us all in general by having those kind of things, anyways, making it very clear with how we're running, and that we take it very serious with how we're running it. And it's not just about NFTs and art and fashion. Like, those are the great things, definitely, but behind the scenes we have a lot of other things that we're building as well. And even when it comes down to tackling how to write a code of conduct and how to determine who has access to certain things, again, all of that goes into DAO building. And again, all these tools that we're putting together to show others, if you're building a DAO, these are the kind of things that you're going to have to cross and figure out as well. So I definitely agree with you on that one, Sergio, and it's something that we definitely need to be coming up with, putting together, outlining, creating, and showing others, how to do the same once they reach this point. So cool.
Hey, I don't know if I missed it. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Tiny.
Oh, I don't know if I missed it, but you can put my the money from the ticket, the workshop or whatever, you can put that in the Treasury too. So you can use that for whatever.
Okay, cool. That's actually, man, last thing that we hadn't talked about was actually the Treasury. So with that being said, that's Zay, Tiny, myself, that's 33, and CJ. So Zay, Tiny, myself, CJ. So 33 times 4. Okay, cool. So our Treasury is officially, okay, well, 132 is from us, plus actually I think it was like, what, 750 from the tickets, so 139. So we have 139 in our Treasury, is what it sounds like, from our workshop. Right? Okay. And why that matters is because what? We are building out this website and we need a domain. We do not have our own domain. So we can use these funds that we just earned from our workshop to actually get that domain. So last thing that we'll be sharing in the ideas chat is domain names. What name do you guys want our domain to be for our website? And what does that even look like, right? Do you guys want a .eth? Do you want a .nft, a .x, a .crypto? Like, what kind of domain would you guys like, and what would that name look like? This is something we can decide as a group and can build on from there. So, does anybody have any ideas when it comes to our domain names before we kind of just share our ideas? Of course, like I said, this is, I know, something we'll have to talk a little more about in our ideas. Everybody kind of look into it. One of the things also when it comes to domains, Sergio, we had when we were talking during the How to Revolutionize Your Life workshop, we thought of this great concept. Brace yourself, Sergio, because it's genius. Learn to earn. I know, genius. Learn to earn. And kind of embodying that in what we're doing as well, so that people are incentivized for coming and learning and earning for learning. And then we can even take that a step further from learn to earn also to teach to earn, because we're also incentivizing teachers at that point. So maybe teach to earn, and different things like that. So building ourselves off of these kind of business models, learn to earn, teach to earn. I know we were kind of thinking about that would be a cool domain name. Tiny did say it was already taken, but again, different concepts like that. I'm not sure what we would want to go for our domain name though for our website. So definitely something to look into though. Sergio, I see you've unmuted.
I like the concept. Learn to earn. Teach to learn. I like it.
Right? Isn't that genius?
Yeah.
Yes. So excited to kind of use that as like our slogan. Right? And as we kind of start building out our website, I know we were even talking about kind of gamifying it, right? Like even being able to, we got our resources there, maybe, doing little practice tests or activities that people can kind of complete, and then they earn, for learning, or doing certain things. And of course that comes like further out as we build out our website. But just adding this kind of stuff to our roadmap to understand like this is the direction that we want to be going into for these kind of principles, and building on that learn to earn, and that being the point of like everything we're doing, I think is really cool. Miss Tiny?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I really like the learn to earn thing, because I forget which one it is. It's like Coinbase or something, but they have like a thing on there where you like go through the little modules or whatever, and you like earn the crypto that you're learning about or whatever. So, and like I love doing it. It was so fun. So I think like if we're able to integrate that into our system, I think that would be like a really fun way to learn.
Yes, it will. And again, it offers, because we are playing like this middleman game where it's like we're just offering a hub for that kind of stuff. It also it creates an opportunity where other people can partner with us, so say these coins, these coins are always looking for people to partner with in order to kind of shield their coin. And of course we will have to have some type of vetting system, because we don't just want to be shilling crap. But say you use that for example, where a new coin wants to put their test on our platform, where people can actually come and learn about it, and then they would earn a few dollars from that coin, where it's like maybe we don't have to be paying them for that, but it's just using that same technology that Coinbase uses to offer that coin a place to host that quiz and pay out people that took that quiz. That would definitely be kind of cool. Or NFTs, just anything that we can kind of build on from there with that. I think that would be cool. And especially when you bring up Coinbase and their coins, thinking how we could bring crypto into it and really learn to earn in so many different ways. So really cool. Anything else that anybody wanted to kind of add? Oh, Zay, I know that you had unmuted before. Do you remember what you were going to say? No,
sorry. You want to go, Tiny? Or
no, go ahead.
I feel like I keep interrupting everybody. I'm sorry. I was just gonna talk about Moms in Crypto, just to remind everybody. I have to make the content, which I'm gonna do. Like as soon as we get off this call, I'm gonna go on Canva and make the content for that. And also the garden club as well, like the garden thing, just so we can just talk about a little bit of what we're gonna do in the workshop, because
Yes.
we just started it and it's like an idea, but I don't know what exactly we're doing. But I'm like down to help. I just don't know what we're doing. So if we could just talk a little bit about that. I know this phone call has been long, but it's been very informational. So
Yes.
I don't want to hold everybody up by keep talking, but I have so much to talk about. That's why I can't wait for today.
Yeah, no,
I
agree.
about that.
There was a lot to talk about, but it was very informative. Our calls have been getting a little longer, but it's because we're moving now into this like part where we're really building, you know, and that's why it started to be like, man, we need to have more calls, you know, more than just our one weekly meetup where we actually come and talk about everything. But we need to start having more meetups where we're actually doing this stuff. So I think it's really cool how we've broken it down from there. So we have our weekly calls on Fridays here. Moms and Crypto, yes, that's our initiatives on Mondays. Right now we gotta get a schedule. And something that I will talk about with that, Zay, I know you had made our schedule before combined with Keeping Distance Realm. But Keeping Distance Realm is going to be changing up their schedule a lot and doing a lot less, per se. So we need our own individual calendar that just has our Raw events for maybe the month, so that people can kind of look to and know all of this stuff that we have going on. So that's something that I'll mention with you bringing up like Moms and Crypto, even the gardening club. We've mentioned a few different things like Moms and Crypto on every other Mondays, our community calls on Fridays, our building building workshops every other week, whatever day we kind of decide that should be on. And then our garden club. So, Tiny, if you wanted to just touch more on the garden club, please feel free.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was just like an idea that I had, but everybody got super excited about it when I posted it. So now we kind of just got like stuck here. So now we're trying to figure out what to do, right? So my original idea was just to like do like a little. I was like, when I first thought of it, I was just thinking of like one workshop where we just like taught people how to start a garden. But then we started talking about like Musashi. He knows so much shit that it like would be a disservice to not tell people about all the stuff he knows about. So now that we have him, I'm thinking maybe like the first one we can just do kind of like how I was helping you just like get set up with like just like the begin, like the very basics. Like say you're somebody who has like no fucking clue, has never grown before, basically was in like the same position I was last year, like, and you just want to grow something that you can eat, right? So that's like kind of what I wanted to cover. But then I know like Musashi, he knows so much stuff, and then Zay with like the animals, she has like that whole animal side. So I don't know like where we want to start, but I think it's like a topic that we definitely have enough people to like build on it, I guess.
Yeah, and I know when we had talked about kind of where to start, Musashi has suggested like soils and seeds, because then you can kind of go from the ground up, literally, you know, and make that even, again, maybe a monthly meeting, you know, where we have monthly meetings and talk about gardening. And I know you guys had even set that date for 4/22, which is supposed to be Earth Day.
Yep.
So that will be 3 Fridays from now. So Friday 4/22, and we'll be able to make a lot of content, be able to invite people, you know, to come talk about their garden, what they've got started going. And you guys know we always like to keep the workshops open for people that know what they're talking about and people that have no idea but want to learn. So that, you know, like she said, Musashi has a lot of experience, Binks has a lot of experience, you both have your own different experiences, so that people can come in, you know, give their own, you know, tidbit about something that can help, and then open this discussion and others can ask questions and learn from each other, and something we can keep, you know, coming back to make sure everybody's gardens are flourishing. I mean, I think that also makes it cool because we focus on physical to digital, but we always emphasize how physical matters just as much as digital, right? Because if your physical ain't right, then your digital, it doesn't really matter, you know. So being able to offer that balance, I think is really great. So something I would kind of say from there that I just got an idea on is maybe what I will do is make another section like how we have here, like community, raw season 2, submissions, NFTs. Maybe make one for like clubs, just different clubs. And maybe club isn't the right word, but we can have clubs where we have like our garden club, and we're going to be meeting there once a month. Then we can have our building club, and how we're going to be meeting there every 2 weeks. Even just how Felons just mentioned music, so we can have our music club and all the musicians can, meet however often they want to meet, or more than anything, that just gives them a place to share the resource that they're getting and opportunities to go and meet up, if they would like to. And what's some other ones that we have? We also, CJ got her crochet club, so say that's something she wants to even grow further out, it could be like, a crochet club, or even if you don't want it to be so narrow, like, crochet in specific, it can be like the, physical creators club type of thing, where it's like, anybody that's creating by hand or something like that, can kind of go from there. And I'm trying to think. I think there was another one, modeling. Portia, one of the people that actually joined the workshop this weekend, she's into modeling, and it's really crazy. When I first made my first NFT, my first tie-dye t-shirt, it had nothing to do with digital fashion. I made an NFT, and it was like a poem that I had wrote on a picture that I had took, because I do photography and poetry, and I put those together, and then I made this t-shirt, and I'm like, whoever buys this NFT, I'll give them this t-shirt to as well. And I had her model the actual t-shirt as well for some content. And one of the things that we've all learned from like Digital X and the Global Designer Network is having your fingers in all these different industries is what's going to make it easier for you to be able to start working with them. So imagine we have a modeling club. We have one member who's big into gaming here. Shamgar. So imagine if we have a gaming club, where everybody that streams can actually go on there and stream together. Even when we talked about streaming one time, everybody got excited, like, oh yeah, this is what I like to play, and this is what I like to play, and we can go on and stream together and make a whole, club out of that, where we can be coming together, doing different things together, as a club, and sharing content in these clubs. Tiny, I see that you unmuted. Did you have something you wanted to share?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, because since we're like modeled after the university anyway, I think it would be like, because now we can basically like just branch off of that with like how you were saying, like basically any kind of club. So if we have enough people, just like at the college, like if you got enough people, you can start your shit, right? That's how it goes. So yeah, I think if we just kind of keep doing that, we can find a set up a little section for like building that out, I guess. And then we can even have that like at the workshop or whatever, have like, we can build out the garden club. They can build out, their little gaming lounge or whatever.
Yeah, and exactly. And, it's so funny because that's how we always end up modeling ourselves. And we, that's why we even, before we went to our whole website, how we wanted it to be a news or a magazine, like a yearbook, because of that same thing. Think about the clubs, and how those have, different roles when it comes to that yearbook and creating content and stuff. So I think having the clubs will definitely bring it kind of all together and give people that are just joining our DAOs things to do. Like you're joining the DAO to become a part of the core team, to learn skills from that core team. You want to become a strategist because you want to learn how to, do Web3 strategy, help NFT artists strategize and become successful. You're becoming a moderator because you want to learn how to run a community. You're becoming an engineer because you want to learn how to develop in Web3. You're becoming an educator because you want to further your own education, but also polish your skills at educating others with what you know. So maybe if not only aside from those core teams that you can be a part of, but now adding clubs that you can go also join, that focuses more on specific areas that we are focused on. Definitely I think we'll add that extra value layer and bring it all together on what we're here to do, especially when we say our focus is on education, which we have down packed, creating our resources, finding ways to funnel our resources, and networking, right? And aside from joining the core team to network, joining clubs is also that way to network. And like you said, being able to build that out in the metaverse, right? Building out our whole metaverse and Neos, having these clubs, like you said, that's going to be able to take that whole experience to the next level. And that's why we even changed the name from a convention center to a recreation center, because again, this now gives people a place to go and meet up and do this, right? Oh, you're in this club, or we're about to go meet at the rec center and have our club meeting and actually do these things hands-on and be able to apply this knowledge and grow it from there. So I think that's really exciting. So I'm going to be creating that category here. So far the clubs that I have is our gardening club, building club, music club, modeling club, and gaming club. Are there any other clubs? Oh, and I'm going to put designer club, because I think that's a better way to say what I was trying to say when it came to like crochet. So that way it's generic, so that anybody that's designing can kind of lead. Like I said, maybe Tiny wants to do like a resin workshop, maybe CJ wants to do a crochet workshop, or I want to do a t-shirt workshop. We could open it up to a designers club so that it could be more focused on anybody doing anything. But any other clubs that you guys can think of, maybe like a writers club. I know one of my NFTs, I would love to launch a poetry again, and be able to again show writers how they could be putting their books and their poetry and their content as NFTs. And in that space, when it comes to me launching actual NFTs, aside from building the DAO, you guys see when I'm doing NFTs, sometimes we just meant straight quotes, so maybe even just having like a writers club to kind of help other writers, see the opportunities with NFTs and how they can be creative with launching them as NFTs. So any other ideas that you guys have about that or anything else that we mentioned today?
Just a domain update. RAWDAO is like $7,000, so I looked for like other stuff. And then there's like RAWDAO.crypto is $200, but there it's raw learn number 2 earn, like raw learn to earn.dao is only $5.
And you said that was what, raw the number 2?
Raw learn to earn, but then with the number 2.
Oh, raw learn to earn. Gotcha. To earn. So
yeah, that one is .dao is $5, .x is $25, .crypto is $10. But yeah, raw.dao is $7,000, and you got to go through that like special like premium gateway thing. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, and I guess that's another question as well. I like how you went with .dao. Because that was going to be another question about, did you guys have any ideas? I know it and Web3 is very like streamlined to get .eth, right? But a lot of us don't go that traditional route of .eth because we understand that there's better ways that you can go about it that are more efficient. So is there anybody that is kind of against that and thinks that as a DAO we should go .eth, or like how Tiny just suggested .dao, and focusing more on finding ones that are .dao? What do you guys think? Anybody have any other thoughts, so that as we're all kind of doing some independent research, we can go kind of looking at what's available, with the consideration of what other members may be thinking as well?
I was thinking, maybe you should, if Tiny or you or any of us go through all of those, like give us an option and put it in the chats and give like everybody a poll to see which one they like the most, that'd be good.
Okay. Options. All right. Yeah, we can definitely do
I
that.
can do that because I'm putting them all in my cart right now. So like like all the ones that I'm thinking of. So I can like I'll just keep putting them in here, like just everything that I think of, or people said just like send me stuff, and then I'll post a picture of the whole thing to the chat.
Okay, and Tiny is using Unstoppable Domains. So anybody that's listening that wants to go kind of look at them, again, you can go check Unstoppable Domains, get some ideas. And so I guess Sergio or Zay, again, I guess my question is, as we're looking, did you guys have any ideas when it came to the actual domain that we're using when it comes to, again, to like .dao, .x, .eth, .nft, .crypto, whatever? Any thoughts?
A question, like just overall. Sorry, Zay.
You're good. Go ahead.
I understand that they are different endings to the domain, but do they do different things? Or are they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does the .dao, does it give me the same kind of like permissions and shit as like a .crypto or a .x?
On Unstoppable Domains, I do believe so. Yes. It's just more like like, for example,
like an aesthetic thing, basically.
Exactly. Because if it's like .nft, it would make sense because it leads to your NFT, you know, and that's why a lot of times for people that are kind of like, because this is like not a business, but that's why people use like .eth, because then it kind of leads you to like having access to that entity, you know. If you have a .eth, then you get the ENS, you know, then we could go vote in their system, and you kind of get some of those perks. But you know, I don't really like Ethereum personally. I'd be against their gas fees and against forcing people to go through them. When I again understand there's more efficient ways. So, but I was just curious because I don't want to be influencing other people if others, you know, thought otherwise. Nonetheless, and just want to hear other opinions. More importantly. Sergio, I see.
My opinion,
yeah,
my opinion is more like, I just want to get it launched, and like, I don't want to like, I know some people say ETH, but like, I just want it the most simple, the most less complicated way to just launch a website.
Okay. And I know also with the Unstoppable Domains that Tiny was looking at, if you get it, they give you kind of like a soft launch where you can like, it'll say like, oh, coming soon, and it can kind of look like a little like pre-launched until you actually connect your WordPress or whatever website that we're actually using. So deciding on the domain name now is not something that we, you know, have to do right now, especially since we are still building out the website. But definitely should start looking into the domain names that we can buy, because these also become assets for the DAO, you know, like Tiny just said, you know, that raw learn to earn is only $5, you know. So say we can get a couple domains at that point, you know, we see that there's obviously some type of domain for the RAWDAO. You know, somebody trying to sell something for $7,000, you know, but understanding, oh, we can do that as well, you know, if it comes down to it, and can find different domains as a DAO that we want to hold. That's why we even said, oh, learn to earn, you know, because we understood that could be something that offered that value that others could also use if we decided to sell it as well. So definitely interesting. Tiny will be on the lookout for the domains that you kind of have seen and that you'll be sharing. I'll be doing the same, looking at Unstoppable. Everybody feel free to look at Unstoppable Domains, you know, get some domain ideas. I'm going to be dropping a very clear list of just all the things we'll be looking at, all of our goals for this season, kind of trying to reorganize all of this and make it very clear and start creating, you know, a more of a roadmap so that people can look at it and know where we're headed. I would love to kind of even get a big roadmap for like the next year, or throughout, I guess it's only 6 more months in the end of this year, but pre-planning the next 2-3 seasons, what we're going to accomplish this season, the season after that, and by the end of this year, so that again people joining also understand the big picture and where they can start fitting in and adding to it, so that we can continue to grow. Because again, I know we hold it down, but we get in some people that are joining, they hear the vision, they get excited about the vision, and we're getting better. I even like I had just told you guys before, Binks only joined, and filled out our Raw workshop because Zay sent her that welcome message, and that's something that we had been ironing out, right? That process when people join the Discord. We got to get that bot working so that when people actually hop in the Discord, we get an alert that they've joined the Discord. So even at that point, when they've joined the Discord, now we're sending that letter instead of just waiting for them to, introduce themselves, so that again we can start streamlining that and pushing people to follow through, submit their Google form, go complete a task, start adding to the RAWDAO, checking the task available, seeing what you can do to help us reach our next goal. So I think having the clubs, meeting more often, having a nice calendar, some of those kind of things is going to definitely continue to help us build out our mission. We have a lot to conquer, and I'm excited to see it all come to fruition. Before we go, did you guys have any last thoughts, questions, concerns, ideas that you wanted to touch on before we go our separate ways?
I did want to say a part of a club, maybe another club we could add. I don't know if you wanted to do it, but like a breeding club, because we both breed dogs.
Ooh, yes.
So I was thinking about that. And also, I'm going to have other animals to breed as well. And I know Lynx has alpacas. Okay, hold on, baby. I know she has alpacas, so maybe that can be a new club too.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Thank you for bringing that back up as well. Definitely one of those things we definitely want to keep in the front of our head, because that's something we understand. We trying to build that whole thing out as well, Having a breeding club, we can start coming together. Me and you over here been trying to, figure out, how to do smart contracts with it. And because I've been studying, how to launch smart contracts in general, I've got some ideas. I know a simple way it could kind of be, if you were doing it independently, would be like Manifold, where it's like you can go and kind of launch your own NFT under it and then keep going from there. But we're trying to build out some, big kind of blockchain, I don't want to say blockchain, but big contract that everybody can be minting to, and tracking their breeding and stuff. And different people have different ideas with how we can even create that blockchain. I know I've got some ideas with the metaverse world that you can have a part of it, and just all these different things that we can do from it. So having that breeding club and having people with the different animals and everybody, with their different ideas and different abilities to help actually start bringing this stuff into fruition, it's going to help all of us. Just like you said, we all got animals too. Like you said, Binks got alpacas. You over here got goats and chickens and dogs. I got dogs, and being able to show, again, anybody can be into that with animals and breeding, and being able to use that again to help make your physical work well as well. Being self-sufficient in that physical by using what you're producing, whether that's food for yourself and animals and those kind of things. So that would definitely be another great club. Thank you for adding that, Miss Zhang.
Oh, I just wanted. I'm so sorry. I need to stop talking. I'm sorry.
No, go. But, feel free. Share.
No, but my mentors. Maybe I can. My mentors, they don't like being on social media, so I can put them in. I can send them the Discord, so when we do start the breeding channel, they can actually put like their livestock up. And if once we figure out like a smart contract and all that, like us as a group, not just us us individually as well, but us as a group, we can help them. And that's how we can in my head, that's how we can escape asking the ADGA for help, and we can just help the farmers through RAWDAO's Discord. Mm-hmm. That could be something.
Yep. And there's a lot of these different, registration things that people have to go through. So like you said, having this as a place where people that are needing that assistance, go to RAWDAO and they'll help you get your animals, on the blockchain and registered in a different way. We can definitely do that and be that hub. And like you said, especially for farmers who don't want to be on social media and don't want to be going too digital, just offering some type of middle step instead. And that's also where our website will be able to come into handy, where it's like, well, we'll have all the resources on the website, and be able to streamline how to put out different resources on that website. So that's where they can be going for information, for how they can even make that kind of stuff possible, and be here in the Discord to ask questions and build and talk, and not need to be on anybody else's social media platform. Even having a lot of our stuff hosted just on Discord, it's like, Discord is not ours. So being able to move over to our own website, and be able to start getting our community to look for us there as well, starts to just put us in a different position. Even we said, from there we're going to have our metaverse, and from there we're going to be able to just explore different kind of things that we can continue to build out. So definitely sounds like a good plan, Ms. Zay. Did you say you had something else you wanted to add to? No?
Wait, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I thought, did you say something else? No?
No, I didn't say anything else.
Okay. Well, yes, that sounds like a great club to be added. I definitely will be adding that on here. Let me see. Yeah, because I cleaned it up already. I cleaned the Discord. If you guys see any other channels you think could be merged together, or anything you see in the Discord that you think some changes could be made, feel free to share. Again, I was just trying to organize it to make it a little more clear. Not too many channels, and again, so people can look at it and know what to do. So if there's any other changes, I'll be adding in the club section, and resharing a lot of this kind of stuff. And I'm just creating more content, again, so that people that are joining know how to use our Discord, and where to look for all the stuff that we've got going on. So I think that just about does it. I'm going to say speak now or forever hold your peace one last time. Okay, go ahead, Sergio.
Well, it's just a comment, but like, I was always fascinated about like the creator economy, and how like bloggers and YouTubers and Twitch streamers and how they generate money on the internet. I just want to, like, I wish club where you just learn how to do that, but like in the, I guess in the Web3 space, like more like an indie slash creator economy kind of club.
Okay. Creator economy. I like that. We can definitely have that as a club, especially because, like you said, that's a whole sphere. And as we're moving, everything is going digital, just like we said, learn to earn, there's play to earn, where to earn, the abilities for creators to really start maximizing, and once they understand the economics of actually using these tools on the internet, that's what we want to be teaching people, being on the internet and in these digital spaces, being able to extract, not just go in and consume and, lose all your money, but actually be in these spaces and gain from it and add to it as well. So I think having a creator economy that focuses on that and teaching people that and sharing tools with how people are doing that would definitely be cool. And definitely a good group to add. Awesome. And a lot of this kind of stuff as well, now that we have more clubs, this kind of stuff will even help when it comes down to like our raw workshops that we have on Twitter Spaces on Tuesdays. That's something I want us to start getting, the next 2 or 3 or 4 speakers lined up. If we can have the whole month set in stone early, that would be great. If we can have the next 2 weeks, that would be, even better. But how we just said, a creator economy, think about how many people out here are actually, kind of teaching people that, already have a good audience because they've put themselves on that kind of pedestal and have some kind of things that they can share, so having these different clubs will be able to kind of start finding more people that are going physical to digital to kind of be talking about these different topics to even help grow these clubs and grow the DAOs and help everybody that's in it and trying to learn in that sphere as well. So having these clubs will definitely help with trying to find those kind of people to add to our DAO that can bring that kind of education and content and information that can add to that. So great point. I love that club. Thanks for adding that, Sergio. Okay, anything else, guys? Any last ideas, thoughts, questions, concerns? Tiny?
I just wanted to say I could probably help because I know Sergio said he doesn't really like doing the front end stuff, so I don't know if I said it before, but I just want to throw it out there again that I can help with the website, with the layout and stuff. So whenever we're ready to start, once we, I guess, did we decide on WordPress? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're gonna use WordPress.
Okay, yeah, and I've worked with it a little bit before, so I'm pretty sure I can help out. So whatever I need to do, just somebody let me know.
Nice. Well, that's great to hear that you got WordPress. I think I added the engineer role to you before, Tiny, but if I didn't, I will add the engineer role to you so that you can have access to that chat and you guys can talk further in there when it comes to lining up the front end, back end, especially because I know you make a lot of content for social media anyways. That will be great, to again make sure that everything is cohesive when it comes down to we have the colors for our DAO, for our groups, and how we can use those colors, what kind of shapes, or what kind of, I don't want to say vibe because I feel like that's so not the word, but basically is that theme, what kind of story you're trying to tell when people see our content, and it just all coming together. So that's going to be great with you kind of taking the lead on the front end on the website. I know T is still around as well, so I would definitely send her that information if we're going to be on WordPress. I know she kind of also had picked out some buttons and just kind of looking at different websites. I know, Tiny, if you haven't before, check out the Web3 websites that Sergio has shared before on the Figma document that shows the different Web3 websites that we've kind of been looking at, because a lot of them do have some really great aesthetics to it, with it being very simple and you seeing the content very clear, and what kind of buttons that will get you to certain things, and how we want our content to be presented so that it's easy to read, easy to find, and people want to keep coming back and think of us when they have these questions, because having a website, that's something we definitely want to have a box where people can put their email so they're getting alerts when we add new things, and all that kind of good stuff. So good stuff. I'll definitely be adding that role for you, Tiny, so we can get to work on that website. I know right now we already outlined kind of where we're at with the website and just getting started more onto WordPress, getting to work on the pictures and getting ready to launch it. Well, not ready to launch it, but prepared to launch it and understanding what that comes with and actually starting to build that out. So good point. Anything else before we go, guys? This has been a great conversation, a great think tank. I've been over here taking notes. I got two pages going on 3. Zay.
I didn't have nothing to say, but I'm just gonna love listening to the replay because it's anybody else have something to say and we just keep on saying stuff. So it's gonna sound so funny. I just wanted to say that.
No, that's cool. Hey, because, I like to put it out there. I'm not rushing nobody off because we are talking about a lot of really great things, So it's anybody else got anything else we want to talk about? Yes? Okay, let's go in for a second. Let's talk about it and keep it going, because this, again, just it enables all of us to then go and do our own independent homework. There's so many different things that all of us now are about to go start researching, looking into, thinking about more, so the next time we come together at our next community call, we'll be able to actually build from here and have a lot more thoughts, about this big picture. And that's why I said, even after this, I got to go and organize these notes and, put it together in something that's digestible for the community. And that's why I even started to do our raw recaps on Fridays instead of like any other day. Just what did we just talk about in this community call? What have we been going over this whole week? Just recapping it so that we can share it to the community. People can kind of peek at it and start digesting it. You got to give it to them in forkable bites for them to come back and keep, wanting some more, wanting to get involved. So this has been a great conversation, though. I'm really excited about all that we're about to do, especially even adding the clubs, man. That's what I'm saying. We come together and be making some amazing things happen. So excited about our website, seeing that come more into fruition. Excited about our initiative with the NFT artists and the theme and actually the marketplaces. I think that is going to be so great. When I tell people like, oh, we're coming out with a general theme so that any NFT artist can use it as they're creating NFTs, and we're creating a form for people to offer feedback about the marketplaces that other people can use, I'm telling you guys, people's eyes light up like, wow, that's such a great idea. Like, I want to come read the results. I want to come fill out a form. I want to be a part of that. Like, what can I do? So I'm just really excited to see that coming. See our metaverse come into fruition with our recreation center, all the different rooms that we'll be able to build and like create galleries and like classrooms, and just even now with our clubs, and creating these different meeting areas that other people can again start to utilize. Just really excited about all that we're building here together. So thank you guys for taking your time on this Friday to sit in the think tank, share your ideas, for all the efforts you put in with actually helping us build. I did show you guys how to actually use that task bot. So make sure you're using the task bot to, report your tasks. If you don't remember how much certain things are worth, that is always still in the brain to show how much each task is worth. But, like we've said, we were all kind of responsible. How much build you should be getting for certain things. If you've made a couple contents, then obviously you would get more than just 5 for that one. Maybe you made 4, so now it's 20. Use your own discretion, put it out there. It is going to be very transparent so that anybody can come and cross check, and see what anybody's working on. But make sure we're using this task bot so we can see if that's working. And hopefully I'll be getting that smart contract relaunch soon. I have been looking at Remix seems a little promising. I am still just trying to do a little more digging on smart contracts in general, so I can create some type of like content behind that as well, on how to start a smart contract, what is a smart contract, the intricacies of smart contracts, so that all that content is coming along with it. And I encourage everybody to do the same, as we are exploring these different things. Tiny, one thing I was going to say is, I know you're not on Neos yet because you have a Mac. So Musashi did share, the link on how to actually download that. As you're, setting that up, make sure you're making content, be screen recording how to actually set that up, or taking pictures and slides so that you can create some type of content, whether that's a video or a slideshow or something for other Mac users on, this is what you should do to download Neos and set it up on your phone or on your laptop, on your Mac laptop, so that because we know we're using Neos, we now also have the content. That video is a private link and it's still got like almost 25 views, because people like watching that kind of content. So just understanding, these are the kind of things we want to be creating content around, especially as we're learning, exploring, packaging that content, creating these resources. I encourage everybody to do that. Be mindful as you are doing this throughout the week. So thank you guys again. Be on the lookout for the recap that I'll be posting in a bit. And we'll talk again on next Friday. Bye.